want to show you something real quick.
To be trusted. All
right, I want to show you something real quick. All right, so in this demonstration, we're going to talk about the haters and why they're so upset, why they're triggered, why they're angry. The reason why they're angry is because that's the longest freaking, the longer the trailer is in a movie, literally just showed the whole movie in that trailer. I mean, look, just fast or whatever it's called. Wow, I mean, it's a long trailer. It showed a lot in that trailer. Just watched the whole movie. But anyway, first things first, my name is Kenneth Burr. My company is Black Series Edition LLC. I told you that when we basically out these haters at the end of the day, when we show them for what they really are, they get really upset. Now, I told you, the higher the hate mail we receive, the more damage we've done to these individuals. We know at the end of the day that they're just extremely ticked off. We have a couple in mind already. There's only two of them we talk about. One is called Danny. We got to mention their names, and the other one is Crow. And Crow, a couple of days ago, tried to make our product, and he failed miserably in the process. I hate talking about this, but it's true, because I'm tired of it. We passed it already. But this is why we're receiving this. I'm going to tell you why we're receiving this. So we did give him the option to be able to make the product. And he tried 2 attempts, so both of them came out gray. He started removing ingredients from it, which means he was just now at part 2, he didn't know what he was doing. And then you can see as he showed off the mixing stick, you can see it was gray. So anyway, we decided to help him out with that because I got tired of watching it. I went in and made a black product with high fluorescent glitter in it, produced it, what we just did a few minutes ago, and we knocked it out with no problem. 1,000 and 4,000 doesn't match. Anyway, this freaking triggers him big time. So he wasn't able to go in and make the product. Failed because he talked a lot of trash about us. We're scammers. Our product's nothing more than black paint. Anybody can make it. And here the person who talked all this trash failed 2 attempts to do it. And by us making the product black, well, he has no other place to go. So anything he makes under black, he can't make black because, you know, it is what it is. We buy it, we have black here, it's not going to match. So anything under the black for the 3rd time attempted, he's going to have to go through. See right here? You can see him right here. He's ranting right now. So for the 3rd time around, he's see, I want you to see this as he's ranting as I'm talking. The 3rd time around, he has nothing left, nowhere to go. We took it from when we made it black. So that put him on the spot. He's on the spot now. Now the other problem he's very upset about is also too is the fact that we told customers before you buy any screen paint products to make sure all products are tested before the product ships out. None of his products are tested. He knows this. So he can't provide any test demonstration. So that pretty much hurts him also too. Telling him to do side-by-side demonstrations, gray versus gray, as we do black versus black. We don't have a problem showing those demonstrations. That's another thing he doesn't want to do either, because again, he went to the Network Gray 773, perfect match. The bare sewer screen, perfect match. He doesn't want to do that ever again. So that'll never happen. So again, that also too hurts him. The difference between his product and a white screen, he literally had a couple of demonstrations on that. All those went missing because again, he can match a white screen easily with no problem. So again, like I said, I told you that he was going to become extremely triggered over this because again, he cannot back his products up. It is what it is, and I wanted y'all to see this. This is the kind of hatred this guy has for us. This is why he's so angry, so upset. If we're such fakes and phonies at the end of the day, man, you are surely showing off a lot of freaking hatred for someone that seems to be not bothered by the test that we did. Look, there's another one, 22. We're up to 22 now. This is pretty sad. This is how it is. This is a fellow, I told you at the end of the day, who got caught scamming all these people. He got exposed, and he's always talking and we bring him in the room to talk a little bit, and he's always replying back that we're always triggered. And this is him. This is him reacting to what happened to him the last couple of days. Jamie, I explained to you crystal clear from the door that you need to back your products up. You can't come on there explaining and telling people at the end of the day you're pulling 100% contrast level. Your website is an absolute nightmare. You have shipping policies designed to rip off customers. Again, can't express that enough. You don't have enough in your specification sheets. I don't know what you would call that today to back your products up. You don't have enough testing. We can't, in fact, we can't find any testing. We did that. We searched. We did a search, 3-hour search through your website, found nothing. You literally have a product on your website that doesn't even exist. I've never heard of a black crystal mix or whatever it is. It doesn't exist. And it sits in the same page where the Frankenstein used to be at. So the description that you have in there was for the Frankenstein, but for now it's for this strange black crystal. See how he's reacting to what I'm saying? There you go. That tells you right there too. So anyway, as I said before, that you need to better your products. You do. You ripped off a lot of customers in the long run, and you need to pay the money back at the end of the day. I'm going to basically see what has to be done with your website definitely being shut down, because it does violate Better Business Bureau codes, because again, you have items on your site that don't exist. There's no way these things don't exist at all. Oh, I talk too much. Told you. That's Jamie. You have products that are matching house paint that are still being sold on your website to customers that you can clearly scamming them. It is what it is, man. You know, I can come on here, I can back myself up, and this is what bothers you. All right, so he went through all of this to talk all this nonsense to just end up going through this. What was the point of all that, sending all that in? For us, all we have to do is to click over. You sending messages here because I know you think I'm seeing these messages, it's just hurting me at the end of the day. No, it's not hurting me at all. This shows me at the end of the day how triggered you are and how the things that we are doing on our end are basically affecting you. Because you don't see me on camera going, I don't do that on camera. I just came out here and exposed you. That's what I did. I gave you the option to make my product. You couldn't make it. It came up gray. In the first demonstration, we told you the rollers were gray. You ranted about how the rollers were black. That was a black product, that we were jealous that you made the product and this, that, and the other. And then in part 2, you clearly stated that the part 1 product was basically gray, gunmetal. And then tried to make it sound like our product was gunmetal because you couldn't make it a proper black screen. Oh well. That was pretty much for nothing, was it? All that time, all that energy for nothing. On top of that, you made your customers, the sheep that supported you, you made them look extremely bad because you deleted or tried to hide the first demonstration, which went missing off your account, but then all of a sudden magically popped back in. That's pretty sad. That was pretty much for nothing, right? So today, you can't do any tests versus Network Gray 773 or any of the tests you're supposed to do because you can't back your products up. You have no test under any of your products whatsoever. Your specification sheets are completely false at the end of the day. Your shipping policy is a complete nightmare, and you don't know what you're doing at the end of the day. You don't even know how to make black paint at the end of the day, or black screen paint. How can you say that you have a black Frankenstein when you don't even know how to make black paint to begin with? Even worse, you don't even know how to make a proper gray screen paint. Yeah, that's a shame. Look at this, very upset. He's extremely triggered. Let's go through one of his messages. See the scribble? He doesn't even write correctly. Just scribbles things in. Very, very, very angry individual. No, this one he just added a dot. Sorry, you can't see it. My apologies. That's a dot he just added in. He's very upset, very angry individual. Here we go. Oh shit, what goes on in emails? This is Jamie. This is what he writes in. Very upset, very angry. Fake numbers, stuff like that. So this is what we receive from him over and over and over again. I told you that, and I sat there and said, the minute we tell customers from the door, we give them that information. The way he was outed from the door where he couldn't make the product, I told you he was going to get extremely triggered. This is going to make this guy really upset. But you just outed yourself. That's what you did. But we don't have that same attitude in court because it's not going to go well. don't fear the, okay. I don't know what that's about. Now, all jokes aside and whatever, we're not joking about this, but anything else aside, I'm calling license inspection today. And the reason why, I'm not calling because of this mess. I don't care about this. This doesn't bother me. It's nothing to do with that. I'm calling because your apartment is extremely dangerous and toxic. And I will be contacting them today. As a matter of fact, when I'm done this phone call, I will be this video, I will be contacting them directly because you do have a very hazardous apartment. Everyone who saw that demonstration with that many aerosol cans, plus God knows what chemicals you're using for the 3D printer, the apartment being overpacked. It's definitely overpacked. And then the fact that you have more than you need when it comes to animals. You have 2 cats and 1 dog. Like I said, I couldn't imagine the scent in that place. I have 1 cat, and my place is pretty big. And when it hits that litter box, I can smell it for a couple of seconds. So I couldn't imagine 2 in there, and then with the dog. That's a 1-bedroom apartment. That's not a 2-bedroom. It has nothing to do with, you don't keep, he wants to get angry and get mad at the end of the day and say, hey, no, it's not because of that, Jamie. Your place is dangerous. You run a high risk of any one of those containers exploding, anything in that apartment. It's a fire hazard in there. And try to talk to him yesterday, and it just went on with nothing but him just ranting and carrying on and screaming and yelling at me. All right then, fine. If you don't have enough respect for your family and yourself and for people living around you to have an apartment that looks like that, then I'm just going to call in the proper authorities so they can come in and get that mess cleaned up. All right, so we're going to get the rest of this stuff cleaned up. We're almost done with blocking all his stuff. And from there, we got things to take care of. But I just want to show you how triggered he is. I don't want him to think that because we're making this call, that this has anything to do with the paint. I told you there's nothing to do with the paint. It has nothing to do with the way you carry on here. This doesn't affect me anyway at all, period. It just shows me in the day how triggered you are. That's all. It has something to do with the fact that your apartment is extremely dangerous, extremely dangerous. I've seen when you panned around in that apartment a few times and how packed it was in those corners and everything. Things just stacked on top of things. It's a fire hazard in there. And then again, having the printing machine in there and then having those cans and cans and cans of combustible aerosol cans in there. There's a lot in there. Even when he switched over to the door, I noticed there was like a couple more in the cabinet. I mean, gee whiz, man, that is really, really hazardous. And then to have the pets in there on top of that, to have them in that environment is humane for the pets. They shouldn't be in an environment like that at all, period. Let's see. All right, I got to make some phone calls, people. Just showing you how triggered this individual gets at the end of the day. And yeah, this is his attitude. When we basically do those demonstrations, this is how I know at the end of the day that we basically hit the nail on the hammer. I told you, the more hate we get from this guy, the more we know at the end of the day how upset he is. Some of this stuff is also too. I know Jamie's signature. I know him. I got enough of his stuff down through time to know exactly how he writes things, how he does things, how he expresses things he says. We already know his temp because he sends us lots of mail, so we know this. But Partey is a little different. Sorry, Danny's a little different. Pretty much, he doesn't involve himself here. He'll send his emails directly. That's what he'll do. And he hasn't sent me one since he sent me the one he was cursing and carrying on and acting up in the email, and literally had his information for his business right there below it. So that was a bad idea to do. But anyway, this is all Jamie. All right, so with that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed the video demonstration, and now you see why at the end of the day, I clearly tell customers, you need to request these tests. You have to request tests. You have to make sure these people are legit, because you're going to be dealing with this. The same kind of hostile attitude is going to show toward me. He's definitely going to show towards you if you take him off and get him upset. That's what you're going to be dealing with. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the demonstration, or whatever this is, a warning video, and I got to go. God bless.